You are now tuned in to
Lamark After Dark.
What's up, guys? Lamark After motherfucking Dark. Well, Lamark After Dark. I'm tired of saying Lamark After Dark because my mom watches this now and she's just like floored. And I'm just, it's not that. I don't want this to be, that.
But dang, I just thought about it. She is gonna watch this, and then you just told me, I'm like, my tits are all in the camera.
Yeah, but that's regs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I was trying to be fitting for the episode
no.
For anyone who has a question.
Right.
It is what it is.
And I'm really excited because we've been talking about having an episode about bisexuality. So this is like a really dope. It's gonna be titled Spork. Is that offensive?
I find it actually kind of funny.
Okay. If you're okay with it.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna let you decide on that.
I'm gonna let the people decide, and we'll see what happens. But welcome Shawn to Lamark After Motherfucking Dark. And I just was gonna do that. So I knew Shawn since college, Kingsborough.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes, that's where me and Shawn connected. And I as we were talking back before, I had no idea Shawn even was bisexual before. So this is gonna be
I felt like I didn't know that I was bisexual before.
Okay. Okay.
So let's start there.
Yeah.
How did we get to your awakening?
So I'll say it's kind of funny. I feel like there may have been hints of it to like. There's hints that I should have picked up back in like high school. I feel like I had a friend of mine that like, the way I consider it is he was more on the jock side. I was more on like the nerd side. I wasn't really working out like that. So I just kind of like admired the physique, and I was just like, okay, I can notice the difference between like, I guess people that are attractive, kind of stuff like that. So I didn't really think too much of it. I want to say once I got to college, so actually this may have started somewhat before like I met you at Kingsborough. I had like I was over at my old school. I transferred from like LAU Post. I had to get my grades up and stuff. But one of my friends actually, it was such a casual interaction, but like I think he had leaned his head on like my shoulder at one point, just randomly. And for some reason I like actually like thought about it. I like looked at him and I was just kind of like, okay, but I wasn't like, ew, like that. So then like he did it like maybe again this time. I think he had kind of like I wouldn't call it accidentally. I don't know if he did it on purpose. He even remembers that he did this. We were talking about something. He kind of like leaned his head on like my lap.
Ooh, yeah. Okay. No, he knew he did that.
Don't get me started.
Okay.
Like he did that, and then I was suddenly sitting there just like, I never actually, I guess, explored my sexuality before. Maybe I am bi. And it's really funny because I kind of accepted it faster. I said I accepted it faster than most people would. Like, it wasn't like oh my God, what's wrong with me? I'm bi. It was legit just like, oh, this is different. This is new. This is something that's a interesting, like, addition to, I guess, me as a person. So I was more like, okay, let's see what that's about. And I was more so just bothered by the fact that I guess it was my friend that I was feeling that way towards. So
that's usually how it starts, though, with the same, I guess, attraction with the same sex. Because usually, like, that's when you're close with your friend, and then, like, you kind of go to that. Not so much it could be, like, an attraction, but just, you're comfortable with them. So you kind of, like, that's how it starts. So, yeah. I kind of wished sometimes that I was bi. Because I feel like bi is kind of, like, cool. You kind of, like, you have the best of both worlds, I feel like, personally, with men and women. And, personally, I don't think bi people should, come out. Like, I wouldn't, if I was bi, I wouldn't talk about my sexuality on here like I do every day that I get the comments about. So fuck y'all. Because that was crazy. But, I just wouldn't. I think that I only talk about stuff because I'm gay. So it's just like I only have one avenue. But, being bi, I feel like that's more of a different choices to just live by. So I don't know. How do you guys feel about it?
Right. I was gonna say, do you feel like you have it a little easier than maybe some of your gay friends or other queer friends who are maybe more gay adjacent, or just they're gay in general and they don't have any attraction to women and they have no shame on having no attraction to women? Like Lamark will be like, straight up, pussy is not for me.
It's just not. I don't like how it looks. No shade. It's just. Yeah, okay. So
I want to say, like, I guess I have it, like, easier. There are definitely some, like, levels of complications. I'll say with me personally, So I started my journey into like exploring my sexuality a little late on both fronts. I'll even be honest and admit I haven't really gone to like the woman route as of yet. But in me exploring my sexuality with men, I kind of started to you hear it like a lot where like there's a lot of the I would never date like a bi guy. I would never do this. You like, are you gay? Are you bi? Or you hear you're gay a lot rather than like you're bi. So I get my like bisexuality erased sometimes. Even some of my friends, like I let it go a lot. Like it doesn't really bother me, but there's a lot of like kind of like gay mentioned around me rather than like you're bi or like taking that into account. So I would say it's a little bit tricky on my end simply because everybody has seen me talk to or like deal more with men than they've seen me deal with women.
Okay.
And that's like more my preference. I've like kind of like been talking to men a little bit more lately. But yeah, it's just like it's kind of weird to really navigate simply because in my own heart, I'm kind of like scared to. I wouldn't say I'm scared to deal with women, but because the stigma has been that women will kind of ill a lot when it comes to...
You're afraid of the rejection, basically. Like,
You're right.
You don't want to build a connection, and then you're honest about who you are, and then she's like, oh my God, ew. Like, how could I?
Because it's like, I'm going to choose to be honest. Like, I'm an honest person, so I'm going to reveal, hey, I'm actually bisexual and stuff like that. Even my friend got me trying out Hinge right now.
Oh, okay.
I have bi on that.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't really gotten, like, a lot of things from, like, women at the moment. But it's just, like, I'm not shying away from it. It's just I know what probably comes with it.
I see that a lot too. I see a lot of women, they won't date a bi man because they feel like he on the fence of being gay, which I feel like that's kind of fucked up. So I totally understand how you feel because I've heard that from a lot of women in my past. Chelsea, as a woman, how do you feel about this?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I used to have that mindset too. Like, I don't know if me and my man, like, what if we looking at the same thing at the same time? But it's like, when you really think about it, like when you're really with someone that you care about and you love them or whatever the case may be, if you're accepting of them, if that's who they are, then you're gonna embrace that. So I think it's more of a personal thing when we push that away. I think we feel like it's gonna make us less feminine if our partner is someone who likes both men and women.
Right.
Because you're seeing him as almost less masculine in a sense. There was an episode of Grownish. I don't know if you remember, Chloe's character dated one of her closest friends. He was fine too. And he was openly bisexual. And they went to this nice event and he wore a skirt, like a long skirt, but it was still masculine. And she was struggling with that. But I think it's more projection. I don't think it's necessarily that there's a problem because he can be just enough of the man that you need, but you get so caught up on the fact of what he likes sexually, even though he likes you sexually too. So it's tricky. But I do think the more that we go on, people are definitely going to be more embracing of it because I feel like eventually sexuality is not going to be a big deal at all. I think we're coming to that point, and I think the generation below us is really going to break the mold with that. The generations before us started it too. Our generation is doing very well of like pushing it more, but the ones under us, I don't think your sexuality will matter at all. To be honest.
I think our generation is very so-so. I think that sometimes I think our generation is very coasting with it sometimes. Like I feel like it's cool to know about it, but not cool to see it. Like it's cool like when it's not in your face or like in your movies or like in your TV shows. Like I feel like it's like I know a lot of people that like, that's cool. I just don't want it in front of me. And before I used to understand that when I was younger, because like I was like, okay, but then as I got older, I was like, wait a minute, bitch. Because so you're pretty much saying that I can't live my life in front of you, but you can live your life in front of me.
Because what does that really mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So once I broke that down and broke that barriers, I was like, oh hell no. So now it's just like I'm gonna do what the fuck I want to do when I want to do it, and if you don't like it, then you can eat my ass. Figuratively, I got aggressive. I don't know why.
There's nothing wrong with that either. But
this is not about me. This is about Shawn.
Okay. Sorry, guys.
So, Shawn, how do you feel? Because the question of the night was, do you think people that are bi should come out? And personally, I don't think that they should. I think that they should live their lives and come out to people that they're having sex with. But if I was bi, I wouldn't come out because of that exact reason of the stigma.
I'll say, I think like a lot of times the people coming out as like bi, where it gets rooted in, because there's a lot of, I guess, like you could probably even understand this as like, in the gay community, the DL kind of like aspect, where there's a lot of like people who are doing stuff undercover and probably not telling their other partners about like what they've been doing. So especially when it comes to like men dealing with men and then also dealing with women, I wouldn't say they should come out, but there's a lot of that whole health risk that comes in a lot of that, because I'm sorry to say this, niggas will be niggas.
Yeah.
Like, so, it's just like you going around, you sleeping with Tom, Dick, and Harry, and then you go to Sasha.
Exactly. And I think, that's definitely a large issue as well. I agree with that with women. I don't agree with the DL thing. I feel like if you have a partner, you should not be sneaking on around them, especially with the different sex. Like, that's a scary thing. Let that person know. You want your freedom, right? Like, you want to be able to live in your own route, even if you just tell them and you don't go public with it. They still have a right to know, especially if you're in a relationship with them.
Yeah, I think if you're in a relationship, it's definitely you should definitely. I mean, I'm not cheating. Cheating is wrong regardless. But I think that it's very important to express to your partner if you're in an open relationship, because some people are in an open relationship and they still go with men and women. And there's sometimes, like, I think I know King Noir is very free, so like he was talking about that kind of stuff. So I feel like when that instance is very open. But he's also, that's a different spectrum.
Yeah, he's in an industry where he's like, this is who I am.
Yeah. But I think for like maybe the average couple, it's a lot of, I think it's a lot of secrets, especially in our community. And like, it's a lot of men that are kind of, I feel, scared to, express themselves. But I also feel like a lot of women don't give them the platform to feel comfortable to express themselves.
That's very true.
It's a lot of like sassy jokes. It's a lot of you're being this and that. It's a lot of gay this, and it's like whoa, because then now it grows a stigma. So it's a very tricky subject. I was looking at Twitter the other day, and somebody was like, oh yeah, Kodak Black, like, hear me out. But I'm like, Kodak Black is like the worst, like the fucking worst. And it's just like, he's a known rapist, allegedly, because I don't get sued. He's a known hitter. He's a known everything. But it's like, he was calling out some NBA, one of them about
NBA Youngboy.
I think so. Something about like he doesn't do that gay stuff, and people were like, yeah, like shout out to Kodak. I'm just like, this is where we draw the line at the gay. Like this is what we're doing. This is what we are as a community. Like, what the fuck?
It's really funny. I think like even I guess like talking about like celebrities and stuff like that. The Diddy's being scandalized right now for what he may or may not have done. And though a lot of those things come up where it's like, child trafficking or sex trafficking, what everybody seems to have pinpointed is just Meek Mill and Diddy has some kind of thing going on. It's like, so you're more focused on the fact that Meek Mill and Diddy might have had some kind of partnership going on than you are about the fact that he might be hiding children in his houses and stuff like that. So it gets really, I don't know why people focus on not the wrong things, but focus so heavily on a person's sexuality rather than just focusing on what they're doing in their own homes.
I was having that conversation last night with my best friends because they had a moment. I'm like, y'all are really being judgy right now. And y'all both are like some of the straightest people I know. I really don't think y'all have the space to be talking about somebody else's sexuality, but okay, go off.
It's also like in our community, I feel like other races, well, I don't know other races, but I've seen and spoken to other people, and they seem to be more freeing about their sexuality. For our race, for some reason, it's very taboo, but people are adding in the Bible and Christianity and the whole thing about that. Even the whole like no Diddy thing, that's crazy. I think that is just like, it's not that deep. And then people, the whole hip hop industry, 90% of the rappers do stuff with men. I'm not gonna out any men because I'm never gonna out anybody, but
90% is a large percent.
80.
Okay.
So I mean, it's I think when you get an amount of vagina, like most of your time you try something new, and yeah, I'm not gonna go down that route because I'm not an outer. Hollywood. Yeah, it's just, but it's. Honey, the people that you think is your people's favorite rappers, and if they all decide to just as a collective come out, I feel like that would be very interesting. And as hip hop, well, how would that go?
Right, that would completely change the narrative.
Yeah, but I don't know. This is a very sensitive, touchy topic for certain things because I feel like we don't get the respect that I personally feel like we don't get the respect that other races get, and then it's just like. As being when you're LGBTQ, it's like you have to fight your way in, and then as LGBTQ, we're not even fucking unified together, so it's already like fights inside the circle. So it's just like fuck, like I'm already black, then I gotta be gay, then like now I'm like in a fucking LGBTQ, but there's already mean girl status, and I don't know. We have other gay men in the room. How do you guys? Do you feel like I'm on the money? Like, do you feel like it's a very opening community? No.
We got no's across the board over here.
So it's just like, fuck. Like, what the fuck? Like, damn, like, where am I supposed to go? You know?
Yeah.
Like that. What's that thing where you said we can't go to
I knew you were gonna say
if
it
you
too.
can't go to
Melanoche.
Melanoche, where the fuck do you go?
You upsetting me and my homegirl.
Yeah, like it's just so annoying, and it's just like fuck. Like I like your music, but now you're a piece of shit. So like when the whole DaBaby situation came, I was like fuck. Like it's just like damn, we can't have nobody. So it's upsetting.
And I feel like, are there any openly gay rappers?
Lil Nas X.
Oh yeah, look. Well, no, he considers himself an artist. He's like, I'm not a rapper.
Oh. Well,
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
So I was in Santana.
Saucy Santana.
But as far as like the quote unquote, I guess masculine presenting type that's open, nah.
No, you're right. Damn, that's true. I don't know. Like I said, the landscape is changing. I don't feel like
No, it's definitely progressing.
Changing.
It's definitely progressing.
In a decade, in another couple of decades, like there will be a plethora of openly gay rappers. I'm telling you. Like this is gonna change.
And it's a lot of guys that are rapping that are underground that are gay. So shout out to them, killing it. It's just the ego and the mean girl status, like as the gay community, but that's a whole nother show. So yeah, Shawn, we'll go back to you.
I feel like you just got depressed so bad.
I got so depressed because it's just so fucking sad. Like we can't come together. Have you ever experienced women feeling like women making you feel less than because of your of your sexuality?
I would say I don't think they've done it like purposely. Like, so we'll go back to like how I said some of my friends might even say like the word gay around me, or more so imply gayness rather than just like bi and stuff like that. So I would say it's more of that, and it's probably because, like I stated, they usually see me say something about like a guy. When I'm like, I guess, getting comfortable, I might mention, oh, he's cute, or I might mention like, oh, he's like, attractive, kind of stuff like that. And now it becomes more of a, that's like the thing. It's like, Shawn is gay, then it's Shawn is bi, because I haven't, let's say, hit on any of them, or I haven't spoken too highly about, let's say, another female like in the room, kind of stuff like that. I don't know, it's kind of like weird to like be around. Like I'll have even one of my friends, he caught me the other day. We were having a conversation, and I was just like, I'm on Hinge, and like I said it to currently talk to guys because I want to get the guy thing out of the way. And he asked me, like, honestly, he was like, why do you say it like that? Like, why are you kind of like implying so heavily, like, to get it out the way, kind of stuff like that. And I told him, honestly, I was like, because it keeps seeming like everyone forgets. Like, I didn't say it like exactly like this, but it was like that feeling of, well, everybody forgets that I'm bi. So if I have to clarify, well, I'm currently looking more towards the boyfriend route than the girlfriend route currently, kind of stuff like that, then it's like that hasn't gone away. I'm not gay. I'm bi. I'm kind of, I guess, an equal opportunist in a sense. It's just like I like girls, I like guys, but right now I heavily seem like I'm more interested in guys right now. That doesn't take away the fact that I do find girls attractive, and there's a few that I can think about where I'm just like, maybe, like, it's like maybe I would like actually talk to them, but then it also there's again getting past my own things about it. So
got you. So do you feel like, honestly, that you're kind of in your own way when it comes to the female side sometimes, or like you just have that, you just don't want to feel that sense of rejection, so it kind of holds you back from even stepping into it? Or do you just really feel like the space just hasn't been there?
I feel like there is, in part, like the rejection aspect in it. I will be completely honest to say, like, guys seem easier most of the time. Like,
okay.
I would think, well, I'm a guy, so I should be able to figure out a guy more so than being with like a woman. But again, niggas is niggas, so it's just like, even with niggas,
yeah.
So it's just like it like becomes that kind of. But when it comes to, it sounds funny to say this out loud, but it's like I feel like it is easier with guys, I guess, being a guy, dealing with another guy. And I feel like I would be more, not to say more serious when it came to like being with a woman. But I know it seems like there will probably be a little bit more, I'm going to say, work required with me being with a woman than with me being with a guy. But like, I don't know, there's something about that. And maybe that's like I feel like sticking with a guys right now is like easier than me trying to like go for women.
Okay. So if you did decide to surf on that side more, what would you say would be qualities you're looking for, or your type per se? Or maybe you don't have a type. So what qualities do you like in a woman? In a man too, but like in general.
Let's see. I would say I can't even say I don't really have a type because I'm pretty sure somebody might call me out on that. But they're usually like kind of like more on the petite side. I would say seems to have been it right now. Though I don't mind like slim, thick, and stuff like that. I don't know. I really can't actually describe what it is that like I guess I find attractive specifically about women. It's just something that I guess like even with like guys, the way like I kind of operate, which always feels like makes me a little bit like weird than norm. I can find somebody attractive, but I have no real energy to like go towards them.
Same.
So it's like legit, like I'll be like,
oh, hey, fine, all right,
you know, like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, okay.
And then just kind of like mind my business. It's like until I get to know them, and then maybe something kind of sparks within me, and I'm just like even the people, like how I mentioned how I found out that I was bi to begin with. It was like I was friends with him, and you know he did the two things that made me question a little bit, and then I was like, could I be with him? And then I was just like, maybe. And we were close, and then I started to think about it. And then there's another friend that I ended up falling for in that kind of same round. That got really messy. So,
okay. Okay.
But
so you really don't have a type. It sounds to me like you're an energy person. You kind of go off the vibe or like how people make you feel. Like if people make you feel safe, then you're in a space where like, okay, I'll get to know you. Okay.
And Shawn, what's your sign?
That was just about to ask.
Cancer.
There we go. That's already known.
Okay.
Applause.
Can I know your big three?
It's funny because we talked about this, that we have like slight similarities: Cancer Sun, Gemini Moon, and Leo Rising.
Oh,
yeah,
I'm in there too. This makes sense. Okay.
So it's a good time.
Okay, it's a good time.
Yeah,
it's a good time.
We also share this one common factor about having a bad experience with a Capricorn, so that's also the funny thing.
Yeah.
Same. It's not just you. I think it's a universal experience. They're mean motherfuckers. And you know exactly who I'm talking to if you watch this, because you be pretending you don't watch my shit. I know you watch my shit, nigga. And I'm talking about you. Anyway, go ahead.
Kim? Is anyone in here Capricorn? Okay.
And I do have Capricorn in my chart, but I do not relate to it. Maybe the hardworking part, but I don't know what button you're pushing. What button did you push?
I hate this show.
Oh my god.
Okay, this is fun. This is gonna. That's gonna be a good clickbait thing to use. So before we go into Lamarck's corner, I wanted to dive into like being curious and then just being, on the spectrum and LGBTQ, because I feel like that's a whole thing. People could be curious but not gay or bi. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I go tonight and have sex with a woman, am I straight? Or am I bi? No. Like I personally feel like one experience does not define you personally. But that's just my experience. I mean, my opinion. Like if I think with Joe Budden, somebody said if you suck a dick, like no, not Joe, Tank. If you suck a dick once, are you gay? I don't think you're gay. I think you're just, it just fell in there. And like I mean, and hey, like I don't think that makes you bi. I think you just sucked a dick and it wasn't for you. Because I feel like you could be with a guy, be like, all right, this isn't for me, and move on. So, what do you guys think?
I don't know. I feel like it makes you human. At the end of the day, we're all sexual creatures, whether or we embrace that or not. It's just hard to say, because I personally feel like if you suck some dick, yeah, at one point you were a little queer or bi or whatever it is you decided to go by, but yeah, you had a moment. Maybe you don't see yourself as that going forward, but I think that has something to say about your sexuality if that's something you did at one point, even if it's not what you're into, because you still tried it. But
do you feel like it's something that, so if I sucked a dick once, is that something I should be bringing up to people? Or that's
definitely not. That's your business.
Okay.
That's your business. But I definitely think it shows that you're more fluid than you think. I think fluidity is something that everybody has, but people don't know how to unlock that. Some people do, some people don't.
I think 1 out of 5 is curious.
I think so too.
So, and I think just based on whatever you identify with or whatever, it's it's 5 people in this room, but Yeah, with that.
I mean, everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone.
I don't know where I was going with the 5.
I don't know. We all can relate in this room.
Yeah, I'm about to say. So,
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, Shawn, how do you feel about that?
Yeah. Any other comments on that?
Funny enough, I always had this like theory. It's like a funny, joking, half serious theory that I always bring up. I'm like, pretty sure everybody in this world is technically bi. It just takes the right person to kind of bring it out of them.
Yes, everyone has some type of fluid going
I do
on.
feel like a lot of people would be more open to exploring their sexuality and like the different things. Like, okay, they bring like this argument always comes up about pegging, for example.
Yeah.
Like when it comes to like straight couples, it's like, well, technically, even though you're with the woman, you're allowing her to use like kind of a strap on to basically kind of like,
But that's the guy's G-spot.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So it's just like,
the Lord put it in your booty.
So it's just like,
So
to have that like openness, you have to have a little bit like, to have that openness, you have to be a little bit more open-minded in the sense of like, well, like I think I even saw somebody post this on Twitter. They was just like, sex is a little bit, especially like between like heterosexual couples, sex is a little bit limited because people can't get past like homophobia. And like I thought about it and I was just like, that makes sense because there's a lot of stuff that you probably want to try that might involve like a threesome. Like, when people be like, you hear like a lot of, it's always the thing of, the guy wants 2 girls, but then when the girl wants 2 guys, then it's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, all right, but then at the same
day.
token, you and your homeboy just ran a train on shorty and you saw his dick. So
what's the difference?
What's up?
And then
Just
you've
like-
got people who have limitations like, oh nah, like if the dick is out, if his dick is out at the same time, that's some gay shit. Like I can't do that. We gotta take our turns. Like, And I'm just like, that you're still in the room though. Like you still watching it. What's the difference?
I mean, in porn, they don't censor the dick, so it's there. So I don't know what happens then.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. This took a turn.
Like it's depressing you.
It's not depressing. It's just the reality of the situation. It's just like, fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just so limited. I know you said, like, everyone maybe try. We could do a poll. Would anybody in the room try the other opposite sex that they're into? No? Okay. We got one no. Izzy?
A little bit.
A little bit? Okay.
Wait, try the what?
Opposite sex. Like, would they try? What? Like, I feel like everybody has that title. Like,
Oh.
not like Shawn, he, like, that was both. But me personally, I would have to be. It would have to be
Normani.
Not even because I love Normani, but I feel like it would just have to be. I have to be drunk because I'm not opposed, and I love titties. Like titties are great, but it's just once we go down, it's just like, oh girl, like I don't like really.
There's
like,
2 lips down there too. What
I
am I supposed to do?
I don't know. It's just not. But we'll see.
Fair enough.
Imagine I get a whole wife like in 10 years. That would be crazy.
That would be. I'll be tuned in. I'm perched.
Yeah.
I'm perched to see who you decide to put a ring on it, or vice versa.
Yeah, because I'm not proposing. I'm just not.
Okay, so that's definitely not going to be a woman.
Well, no, Chrissy proposed to Jim.
Oh God.
I don't think are they married?
He's never marrying her. Respectfully, Chrissy. Sorry, but it's clear.
Yikes.
He's never. It's freedom.
It's a lot of people not married. All right. Well, so we're gonna move on to Lamarck's Corner. I think anything else you have to ask before we go to Lamarck's Corner? Anything else?
He definitely answered, very openly.
Shawn, anything you want to say before we go to Lamarck's Corner about being bisexual? Anything that you feel like we didn't touch upon?
Nothing that immediately, I guess, comes to mind.
Okay. What do you guys think? You think we're moving? We're good? Okay. I like to get a feel the room, All right, and Lamarck's Corner, we motherfucking go. I keep saying motherfucking. And
that's your word.
Is that your word?
I don't know. I don't know what it's about.
Word.
I don't know what it's about. And my mom watches, and she's very disgusted with me.
She knows that you guys.
Yeah, but it's just when I'm editing and she hears it, it's just like, oh, Lamarck. And it's just very. The Lamarck is just so. It just hurts my soul,
She didn't react to you having King Noir and.
She didn't watch that one. I told her she didn't watch that.
Okay.
Like she watches the playful ones, but that one was a lot. King Noir got a lot of fans, like women and men. Like shout out to him.
I want to say this. I don't know if King Noir is going to watch this. King Noir, there's men that follow me, that follow you. I'm going to say that and put that out there. This brings us back to the topic that we're at right now, because I feel like for you to click follow on this man, you have some type of interest,
Oh, no.
whether you're straight presenting or not.
It was so funny. Lamark told me that he had King Noir was coming here, and I was just like, oh, I feel like I know him. It was like,
I'm familiar. No, I knew off rip once he told me who we were interviewing. I was like, oh, I'm a fan.
But I think everyone has dated someone who's on the spectrum.
Yeah.
Whether they, you know.
I think so too.
So.
Whether they told you or not, ladies.
Yeah.
Sorry.
All right. Lamarck's Corner, where I answer all the questions you guys send me, advice, shade, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
And we're back. Question number 1. What makes you a good partner, and why would you be a good catch for anyone?
I'd say I'm very adaptable. Like, I know, or at least I'm really getting in tune with who I am as a person. So I know what I guess I'd bring to the table. And if the person themselves, I kind of always had this thing of like focusing, I wouldn't call it like a hyperfixation, but like focusing a lot on like who the person I'm talking to is. So I kind of like figure out, and I might adapt a little bit to like a little bit of who they are. So it's like like you're hardworking. Do you prefer like, because even I don't really like to call or text all day. It's like, would you like me to call you earlier? Like, text you throughout the day? Like, not even expecting you to get to me right away. It's just like, oh, hey, like, this and that. Like, I'm more of a direct person, or at least I've learned how to be more direct with what's going on with me. So, like, any opportunity presents itself, I might even overshare sometimes in a sense, where it's like hey, running late because my cat got out the house and then just ran in the middle of the street, got hit by a car. Like
right.
A whole storyline.
You just want to be.
I'm going to let you know exactly what happened,
You're
like play by play.
You're transparent.
He's a Cancer.
So there's that. I'm very, I guess, a lot on the nurturing side, even when I'm like being slightly an asshole about it. I guess that's where like the Leo rising comes from a little bit.
We are not
the fact that you whacked Chelsea a little by accident is crazy.
I don't mean it like that. Okay, so
Chelsea,
I would say one of my
friends talked about this in tone.
One of my friends, she pointed out, me and her are like this, like we're close, but like she pointed out that the first time that she saw me, because I was hanging out with like the rest of our friends from like campus at the time, she thought I was like a silent fuckboy because I was like just like to myself, and like I always do that, but like I was just like very. So she was just like, oh, I don't know. And I've gotten a lot of, like, when people first encounter me or, like, talk to me, they're kind of like, I've gotten these too, like, recently. I got a question of, like, does Shawn like me? Or, like, is Shawn, like, does he not like lying around me? And they're like, no, Shawn just keeps to himself. He's just, that's who he is. Like, I'm not even thinking about you in the sense, like, I don't like being around you. It's usually me just.
That's just your face.
No, like, I could be in my head just, me. And it's just like.
But on the outside, it's like.
It's just,
what's that thing? The bitch face. It's
resting bitch face. Yeah.
Was it? It's abbreviation though, right? RBF.
RBF. Yes. RBF. I can relate to that. Okay, that is a Leo thing. We have resting bitch face. But we're so nice. We're not all assholes. Please stop.
I didn't say anything.
Don't let me start naming off these cancers.
Like, I'm just, but see, I put face and tone, and that's exactly what I was saying. It's the tone.
So it'd be like, okay, like it would be like the equivalent of a mixture of the masculine and feminine energy. So it's like I'm being nurturing in a sense. So I might be like let's say you need rest. Like, you need rest. I might be like, well, I told you that. It's just like, like we've had conversation about that. First, you got I feel like you just need to figure out rest and this and that. And then slowly it'll become like, well, you don't sleep. So it's just like,
Makes sense.
Okay.
Oh, what are your key qualities?
My what?
Your key qualities. Like, what was the question? It was something about key qualities. What makes you a good partner? You will be a good catch for everyone.
I'm super loving, attentive. What else? I'm funny. I feel like I'm just super laid back. Like, and I'm also very similar with like, I really care about people. Like when I care about you for real. It's either I don't care at all or I care for real. So I'm definitely always going to make sure you're straight. I've come to the point though where I used to like always put my partners first. I'm not into that anymore. Like I have to make sure I'm good and I need somebody who's going to do the same. Like if you don't really care about how I'm feeling, that kind of turns me off in a sense too. So that's something I'm working on as well. But I don't know. I just feel like I'm genuinely an authentic person. I work hard. I love hard. But I also know how to mind my fucking business and just lay back and just be to myself at the same time. So it's like duality. I'm all about duality. I'm going to give you both. No pun intended for this conversation. But I'm going to give you both. I really am. So, yeah. I feel like that's what I bring to the table.
Those are good answers. Yeah. I feel like if you watch the show this long, you kind of know what I give.
I'm done. No, tell the new people what you give.
The new people?
Yes. It's always a new person every episode.
Well, I draw sometimes. I color. And, I feel like I'm a cool guy, but I don't know. I don't really want nobody right now. Like, I think that I really need to hone in on Lamark and the inner Lamark and work on that for real. So, I think once I get all that adjusted, maybe when this comes out, then that would be so crazy when this comes out, then I have a whole boo, but I doubt it. I don't know. It's like, I feel like I have a lot of people I'm talking to, it's just no one's applying the pressure that's needed, if that makes sense.
It's the consistency of the pressure.
Consistency. As far as like my key qualities, I feel like, I work my ass off, whether, it's with you or without you. Like, I'm going to win regardless. And that sounds kind of cocky, but in a safe way. I can't cook, but
you make some good brownies out the box.
I make good brownies, and I feel like I'm really good at making somebody feel important and feeling loved and feeling like they matter in the situation, because that's how I treat the way I want people to treat me. But
cancer.
Same.
I'm working on that though, because you don't get that in return, and then it's just like it's shitty when like you expect someone to give you what you're giving, but everyone is different. So
I think it's just learning to not have expectations in life.
That too.
You really got to do things because it's genuinely who you are.
Yeah.
And that shows you a lot about people. Most people don't know how to do that. They do things because they're looking for a reciprocation or an exchange, or they're looking to have one leg up so that when they do need something, they know for sure, like, oh, this person might, because I did X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
I can't stand that. Do shit because you want to do it. Treat people nicely because that's who you are.
Yeah.
If you don't fucking care, then be over there and don't care. But don't come over here pretending to do something or be something that you're not, or you're not genuinely feeling. That I can't stand.
That makes sense. Okay, next question. If a friend doesn't text you back but is always on social media, is that shade?
I find that annoying, and I'm not going to text you. I'm not going to keep texting you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shawn?
I guess, like, to some degree, funny enough, it's related to, I guess, one of the people. But it gets, I guess, I've kind of, like, gotten used to it. Not in the sense of, like, I guess, full acceptance. Like, it still annoys me. But it's just, like, kind of how you just said, like, like, you're not gonna like kind of put up with it. It's just like, well, then at that point, I'm gonna play the same way that you play it. I'm not gonna respond to you when you can see me post something, whatever. I didn't respond to you. Why you don't respond to me?
It's not even a tit for tat. It's really just like, oh, that's the energy. Then okay,
that's it.
Cool. Moving on.
I'm more of a caller. Like, I feel like if you call me, it's better because my text messages is crazy.
That's true.
I'm like, so I feel like it depends, but I also try to respond in a good 48-hour span. But if I'm just not responding and it's just I'm on social media, then that's kind of crazy. But again, I'm mostly a call. Like, I'd rather somebody call me because then I can kind of see it. But yeah, that's just me. So, but do I think it's shade? I think it depends on the person.
Yeah, it depends on the person, because sometimes you have friends like that's their job, or that's they have to post.
They may not see it.
Yeah, so, it really varies. But when you know that person's just doing whatever, they saw your message.
Yeah, they're just being a bitch.
Okay, SMD.
Yeah. Question: would you want your woman to be fully shaved? If you're into men, would you want your man to be fully shaved?
That don't matter to me, baby.
I would say, like, it doesn't matter. I will say I do prefer a little bit, I guess, like, of hair.
See, I like that.
There.
I like this young
I
man.
feel that
because
a little bit of their hair there.
Yeah. Okay. Can I say my theory, y'all? Okay. I think it's very what's the word? We're talking about Nickelodeon. Remember how talking about how certain men have a fetish for like adolescents and stuff like that. I think the whole being shaven or bare, especially for women, it's kind of bothersome to me, because why would you want a grown woman to basically resemble something that's adolescent? a grown woman is going to have hair or whatever, even if she trims and stuff like that. I just feel like as a man, you should be a little more embracive, even if your woman decides she wants to have hair down there or not. Like, either way she swings. Because why does that matter so much? Like, oh, and if she is bushy, cool. She could trim it up. She could do her thing. But that bothers me when there's men that have a problem with women having hair down there. Like, she's not a human being. Like, she's not going to grow hair. Or she's going to, you know, why does she need to look like prepubescent for you to enjoy it? That don't make no sense to me. So I think that's a societal standard that really bothers me. And I think it goes back to a lot of the perversion that we see with older men being attracted to younger or adolescent women and not really knowing how to handle that. So you use it in little ways like that, little aggressive ways where it's like, oh, why didn't you shave? Or why didn't you? She's a grown ass woman. Her pussy should have hair on it, unless she decides she don't want it to. So that bothers me. Sorry, whoever brought that question up. I hate that.
I mean,
because I'm gonna suck on my man balls with hair, no hair. Don't make this a fucking thread, Lamark.
How could I not let you say that?
Don't make this the intro.
That would be fire.
Oh my god. Although you know,
Chelsea, it's all on camera. It's all on your angle, and you're making it worse. Like, that's wild.
Sorry, it's the truth.
Yeah, it don't really matter to me as long as it's not like a excessive forest thing, because then now it gets stuck in your mouth and stuff.
Yeah. If you like, got that's a whole like.
Not flossing.
Like, I shouldn't be able. Trim it up if it's getting a little too much, but it's okay to have a little hair down.
Yeah,
I don't mind it.
What's a lesson you learned this year that you will continue to live by? I think for me is that if someone wants to talk to you, they will. Whether they are super busy or super going through shit, if someone wants to talk to you, they will figure out a way to talk to you. So I've learned that lesson, and to match energy, because the scene is crazy. So, yeah.
I would say don't think it can never be you. You know those people that's like, oh, that can never be me. Or I would, like, I just love to, not to love, but it's interesting to watch people eat their words. You can never say that'll never be you. You do not know where life is going to take you. You don't know what situations you might end up going through. And when you see somebody else going through something or a particular way, don't ever scratch that off for yourself, because you just don't know. Like, be open-minded and remain grateful, and maybe figure out how to not end up like that, but never say never.
Yeah. So life is humbling.
100%.
I'd say things are as much in your control as they are outside of your control. Like, I feel like how, like, you mentioned, like, accountability and stuff like that. There's a lot of things where people kind of fail to realize, like, you know, not everything deserves a reaction. Like, you know, that's always a lesson that comes up. But then there's also, like, in the cases of, you know, let's say cases of, like, falling out and stuff like that. Let's say, example, you're the type of person, you vent your feelings and stuff like that to the person to try to have a solution. But they're very much the person that they want to be. So it's like, you know, I'm not going to change or whatever. This is who I am, kind of stuff like that. And then when, let's say, you cut off your you cut off access to them. Now the question is like, you know, not saying you're acting weird, but it's just like a not understanding where they went wrong. And it's just like, well, you seem very keen on wanting to always be this person that you are when you want this relationship. Kind of like how I said, like, the adaptability thing is, where it's like you want this relationship, friendship, whatever it is.
But you're not willing to grow or change for it.
But you're not willing to grow or change for it. So it's just like, so we can't like have a same argument where I'm like, you need to meet me halfway, or you need to see things from my perspective. And you're just like, I can't ask like that up. You shouldn't be asking that of me. You should love me for who I am. And I'm like, I do love you for who I am. But the parts of you that are actually causing me stress, something needs to change there, or there needs to be some kind of compromise. You can't just, because we all have stories. It's just like, we all got maybe abused as a child, or we all got bad family members and stuff like that have caused us to be the way that we are. But as you get older, you get tired of it. It's just like, it's just like I don't want to keep arguing with you about the same thing over and over again. I don't want to stand in my own way of not going after the thing that I want to go after. So you have to change. Change is the only, I guess, to change that, the lesson, change is the only constant.
Mm-hmm.
That was a word.
Yeah. Change is inevitable.
I know that's right.
Change is inevitable. We do run from it. A lot of people run from it or they're scared of it. But you change every damn day. You're not afraid to change your hair, change your clothes, try something new, but you're afraid to like expand your personality or change your. People have a hard time changing their thought process. Like when they're stuck on something, no, this is how I am. This is how I was raised, and it's like, but you literally know what's right from wrong, or you've learned X, Y, Z, and now you're still saying based on how you were before that you're not able to change going forward. That's crazy to me. So that's a bit of insanity.
Yeah.
You just keep doing the same shit, knowing it's not going to change, or knowing it's not getting better.
What you said really spoke out to me about the whole saying that to somebody. You could be yourself, but a part of yourself is causing me stress. Like that is something we should work on. I feel like that is not talked about enough. I was talking to a guy a couple weeks ago, and we were talking just about things, and he was very mouthy, and I think he thought that was flirtatious sometimes, but it could be. It's very up and down. And I was just saying things I was scared of. Because I said I was scared of mice, and he was like, "Oh, like how are you scared of mice?" Like blah blah blah. And it got very like to the point where I feel like you're trying to attack me. And he may not have felt he was attacking, but he was like poking. And I was like, well, I feel like you're scared of success because of where you are. And then he blocked me. So, but it's just like, I feel like if I express to you that this is something like I don't want to talk about and you're still poking at me, then it's just like, you can't get mad at how I'm reacting to your poking. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, it's finding someone who understands you, but also respecting levels. Because like I feel like I'm personally a respectful person in people's boundaries, and if I cross your boundaries, you let me know, then we can work on that, and I can apologize. But if you cross my boundaries and you keep crossing it, then now, I have to become El Dizzle. I don't want to become El Dizzle. So
El Dizzle.
He's not a fun time. All right. So last question: what are your views on the dark skin versus light skin debate?
It's old. It's tired.
It's very old and tired. It's very old and tired.
We're over it.
Yeah.
You still a nigga.
Light,
dark.
We all getting mistreated.
Right. Dark skin, fluorescent, beige, whatever. Like Beyonce said, I'm black, like whatever. Or you're whatever. Like, come on. It's old. It's tired.
I wish
genetics
we all
are
come together.
genetics. Yeah.
We're stronger in numbers.
We really are. I'm tired of this. Tired of that conversation. Who asked that? Don't ask that again.
but keep listening, because
keep listening. But this is not 1942.
Okay, so Shawn, we're gonna get into more of your love life, and you're single, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Now, the freakiest thing you've ever done.
You don't have to share either if you're not comfortable.
Fine.
Lamarck says it's like no.
The freakiest thing I've ever done, honestly, there's like two. There's like two I can kind of give you, simply because the first one was basically the starting point. The way that I lost my virginity in the especially in the bisexual sense was in the threesome. So that's like the first one. But the second one would be getting head in the staircase.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like all those things are pretty fair.
Nothing too crazy.
Favorite position?
Missionary? Is that the one where you could like actually see
yes
the person? Missionary.
Okay. That's the Cancer in you, the passion, I need the attention.
I like face to face.
I need that connection. I'm here for it.
And your freak number 1 to 10 and why?
6.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
Another 6 tonight.
6. Yeah. Why you say 6?
I'd say 6 simply because I do realize like about myself. There's a lot of like probably like I wouldn't even call it repressed. There's a lot of like energy in me to do certain things, but it's kind of stifled by the fact of me wanting to find like an actual partner rather than like going on Jack'd or Grindr to like just random hookups. I'd like to experience it more with someone who's more consistent. So I would say like 6, simply because I feel like I haven't fully experienced the levels of things that I could be experiencing yet, but I also am held back by the simple fact that I don't want to just do it with anyone.
Yeah. You need that connection to feel like everything is like a solid experience. I agree. On the female side as well, women confuse love with dick all the time, or stay in situations because he got good dick. Girl, you know how much good dick is out here in places that you would not think that it is. Okay, I'm just saying, don't sleep. Let me stop.
That was a good clickbait too. And I was watching your expression. I was just watching like, damn, this is gonna be great to edit.
You know, when you think about it, some of the best times are not when you expect it. So yes, just keep an open mind. That's all I'm gonna say.
The whole thing with expecting is rough for gay because like it's you know you have to kind of expect low key because then you have an accident and that's not fun. Well, I mean, I guess it depends on who likes what you're into. All right, So, Shawn, this is the time of the show where we let you access any questions that you have for us. Also, it's not mandatory. You can just say, I have nothing to say, and we can just move forward and close this out. But we'll give you the floor.
Whenever you want.
I actually don't have anything to say. I'm just enjoying this conversation.
Oh, yeah.
Great. Okay. Yeah.
I just like the fact that you're enjoying yourself and you're comfortable.
Yeah.
And that you came on here and you were able to like speak your piece, be yourself, be open about how you feel. And I hope anybody who's ever made you feel a way that watches this is like, oh, they hear the message. You know what I'm saying? It's your moment. So I love that. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank you so much for coming. Please let people know your Instagram, all the great things you're doing, and all the good stuff.
Got you. So you can find me on most platforms under Black Don. That's BLAQDON, possibly with an underscore under it. I dance, I do photography, and I'm actually an aspiring writer. I just have to actually sit down and focus. But yeah.
Thank you again so much for coming to the show. I do want to do a poll. So is Spork offensive? We haven't really talked about that. So like, is it because it's, are we going to do a tally?
I don't think it's offensive.
Okay.
But we might have to find a new word just because the fact that we're even questioning if it's offensive.
Yeah.
I find it funny. I really don't know. Like it's the perfect match between like, the spoon and the fork, the spork.
Okay.
All right. Yeah.
We'll do a promo poll.
Yeah.
And figure out if that'll be the title.
Right. Okay.
All right. In the meantime, thank you guys for watching.
And shout out to Noah and Izzy for being in the studio. So shout out to you guys as well.
Shout out to the most amazing crowd over there.
And shout out to Shawn for being here. Shout out to Chelsea. Shout out to my fucking self. Woo! At this point, probably when we get here, when this comes out, this will be way over 1,000 downloads. So thank you guys so much for fucking that. And thank you guys for supporting. Because again, this was not something I thought would be a thing. So shout out to iHeart for even having us here. And next week we'll have drinks. Who knows what we'll talk about? I think it'll just be drinks and fun. Like drinks, fun, and just shit.
Yeah, we will always end up talking about something juicy.
Yeah, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that. And yeah, thank you guys so much for listening to another episode of Lamark After Dark. See you guys next time. Stay beautiful, stay blessed,
black.
And well, if everyone's not black, like
stay whatever you want.
Yeah. And, thank you guys so much for listening. Again, don't hurt animals. That's something we need to
Yeah, totally advocate for that.
Yeah.
Shout out to all the fur babies.
Yeah. And we're out. Peace.